Wait. Hold on. This is how we gotta start. Is it going? This is how we gotta start the podcast.
Yeah, so
wait, hold on.
This is just a funny fact. Like,
wait, hold on. Before we get into this, Linn, baby. Thank you. We're gonna take, like, it's the first time catching up in a long time. I haven't seen you in many years, but
I know.
apparently,
we go back.
Yeah.
This is why it came up, because I mean, we were at your gym, and we went to the sushi restaurant like right across.
Yeah.
And he ordered the crispy rice, and I was like, "Fun fact, Brandon." Crispy rice reminds me of Bradley Martyn.
What the?
When we went to your gym, Rob and I came out here. We went to your original first Zoo Culture.
Yeah.
And no, this is before. No, this is way before. This was before Zoo Culture. It didn't even exist. This was when you were talking about it.
That's more than 8 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So more than 8 years ago.
So we've known each other for a decade then.
Oh, yeah. Decade. So going back to why you remind me of crispy rice.
Okay.
We came out and trained with you at some gym, and you took us out to eat at, like, I guess what I remember of the place, it felt like we were in the back corner. It was very dark, but you got crispy rice, and I've never had it. And you're like, "Oh, you have to get it. It's the best." And you ordered a bunch of crispy rice. And now when I eat crispy rice, I think of you.
Wow. That's amazing.
You took us out to this nice little hole-in-the-wall sushi place.
And I still to this day.
You just were raving about the crispy rice, and I just never had it.
Wow, I wonder where it was. I'm trying to think. Was it in the valley? It must have been in the valley.
I don't know.
I wonder, what did we train? We probably trained like chest and shoulders.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure we did.
So, man, you're one of the very first, I guess, women really that popped off on social media.
Yeah. Well,
like ever.
Because I'm old as shit.
Yeah, well, we're both old now.
I'm older than you.
Yeah, how old are you?
40. Rob and I turned 40 this year. Yeah.
What is that like? Because I'm getting there. I'm afraid.
I thought it was going to be way worse. It's like the number, like our birthdays are both. We're just 3 days apart. My birthday's May 30th. His is the 27th. And he was fine with it. Like, he's actually been saying he's been 40 for the last 3 years. So then a year ago, I started saying I was 40. Like, when I was 39, I'm like, "Oh, I'm 40. So when I turn 40, it won't be so bad." Yeah. And I think it's just the number is scary. But do you remember, like, growing up, like, as you were a kid and you looked at, like, your parents that were, like, 35 or 40. It was like, "Oh my God, life is over."
Yeah,
You're old and you can't do anything. I'm literally in the best shape of my life. And, like, my 30s were fantastic. Done a lot of really cool shit. I've accomplished a lot of really cool shit. But, like, now that I'm like 40, now I'm like really enjoying everything that I worked for in my 30s.
Yeah.
Like, 40 is awesome.
Yeah. You know what's really cool too? You were also you and Rob were also some of the very first people in this industry to have a clothing line.
Yeah.
Like,
it didn't exist.
Yeah.
It literally, there was House of Pain. Do you remember House of Pain? Do they still exist?
I don't know. But I remember the big oversized. I don't know.
Just the House of Pain, and it had just said House of Pain and in really bad lettering.
What year did you guys start that?
I want to say, like, I think 2010.
Yeah.
Maybe 9.
Because I started in 2015 selling, like, merch in a sense, like selling stuff that I liked when it was.
Well, the great thing with Rob is we actually had a clothing line before that. It was called Broken Text. We used to we'd go to car meets, Carlisle Car Show, and sell, like, shirts. And then we got into, like, we've always been into cars, and we got into this group called Speed Freaks. It was just a bunch of friends of ours that, like, did, like, drift events and car races. So we'd, like, print Speed Freak shirts. We started, our clothing line a long time ago.
Yeah.
Broken Text, I don't even know where that came from, but the domain name actually went up, and we didn't have money someone, I guess, bought it. And Rob, like, emailed them and, like, "Hey man, like, can I have my name back?" And the guy wanted, like, $200, and we're like, "Oh shit."
We'll start a new brand or what?
We started a new brand.
Yeah.
But Flag or Fail kind of happened when, like, we're just everything.
Yeah, it felt like it did you guys start it kind of before social media?
I mean,
It's
we
like
were
right at the beginning.
printing shirts. When did we leave? So we got married in 2007, and honestly,
Because social media e-com, I would say, didn't really start till like 2011, 2000, like end
right?
of 2010.
Yeah.
Because that's
Or
2010.
it started like right as I mean, as soon as YouTube like became a thing, we immediately did it. Same with like Instagram and like
Yeah.
it was just whatever new thing was coming out, and Rob is really good with that. Like he
Really
knew
good.
he's like, there's this Instagram thing, we need to do it. Like same with like YouTube, and he's never had any background in filming or even photography. It's all like self-taught, and he's just very creative and really good at everything. Yeah. So as soon as YouTube started, we're like, well, let's do that. Like I was getting into fitness and competing and saw that other people, well, I thought they were making a living, but they were definitely not. Everyone had a job. Like
Yeah.
now
You're
that
talking about in the fitness industry.
Yeah, in the fitness industry, I thought, okay, like I want to be on the covers of magazines. I want to be
And he'll make
like
money.
supplement sponsors. And, oh my God, no.
Well, still to this day, the competition industry, you're not making money.
Well,
I mean,
especially as a female. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I won for being #1 in the world?
how much?
$10,000.
Yeah.
I basically paid for our flights to get and hotel room. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, awesome, thanks.
Yeah. Like little bonus points, really.
But I mean, it's more now. It was the first year, and but still, as a female, like, no, that's not like everyone in the sport still has like a 9-to-5 job that they
Kind
have
of
to do
even
to
to-
support their
yeah.
passion.
Even today, really, I mean, unless you monetize outside of like using kind of like it's your image. And that's something I really liked about you. Like before I ever met you, you and Rob had figured out that like it was going to be up to you guys to actually make a living.
Yeah, yeah.
Like not in whatever industry you're doing the thing in. Cause like I think a lot of people, I mean, I know for sure in the fitness industry, people think like, not that competing is a terrible idea, because obviously it works really well for a lot of people to get their name out there. But
It's and that's what I tell people. It's a platform.
Yeah.
It's not where, unless you're top 3 men's open, no,
not making
you're
money,
not going to
yeah.
make any money.
even at that level, top 3 men's open, to the extent that these guys have to do things and take drugs and all this shit, it's like
yeah, it's expensive.
the amount of money
It's such
is
an
like
expensive sport.
crazy expensive. So I guess I'm curious, like the inception of like Flag Nor Fail and your company before it was like, there was, because nowadays everyone is just copying everyone else.
Oh my God.
It is just, and I know everyone, everyone.
Yeah, I get it.
Like I've seen it. I've been a part of companies that we're better than other people. It's like, bro, I was there from the ground floor with you, and I saw you copying people. I saw you asking me, yo, should we copy this for that? And it's like, get a hold of yourself. But the thing that I admire about you were doing, and you and Rob were doing this with Flag Nor Fail before it was a thing that everyone did. So I guess my question to that point is, what were your inspirations? Was it just Rob's ideas? Like, was it you? Like, who was
I mean, it
being
was
like,
definitely Rob. Like he grew up, I don't know, like obviously football, like, he's huge.
Yeah.
So growing up, his mom actually taught him how to like cross stitch and stuff. And he draws and very creative. He made his tux for like prom and stuff. He like literally sewed his tux, put flames going up the pant legs.
I mean, and he's an
stuff.
artist. He sings. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make this whole thing about him, but I just want to know the inception of that. Like, because you guys didn't have all the examples there are today.
It was definitely his passion. And then, I mean, also coming from more of like a skater vibe, that's kind of where he just saw like a missing link. He was
kind of like, it kind of reminded me in the beginning, like Famous Stars and Stripes.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That was whose brand was that? That drummer, right? And Travis. Yeah. Yeah.
Travis Barker.
Yeah. That was his brand. That was a skating brand that was really popular.
Well, yeah. So that was sort of what Flag Nor Fail kind of is like inspired off of. It was those like little niche like skate brands
Yeah.
in the fitness world, because there just wasn't.
There was nothing.
It was either House of Pain or what's the one? It's out of like the UK, I think. Can't think of the name, but it was like higher end. It was like a super high end fitness, and then like House of Pain, which was just really blown.
Was you talking about Gymshark? Was Gymshark around then?
Gymshark.
It wasn't even around.
We were like we were before Gymshark.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Like
They just did a good job of leverage. The other company, and you'll remember this too. The other company that was actually, ironically enough, the very first company to really leverage social media in the fitness space
oh yeah,
was Shreds.
yeah,
I know you remember that.
yeah. Joey Swole, Paige Hathaway,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they crushed, and everyone copied their model. When you
Yep.
look at like all supplement brands now, they like copied
Well,
that whole
all
influence.
e-com
Yeah,
brands. Yeah, the code.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
they crushed.
Yeah.
I mean, and they all, it was just building. They were the influence. They kind of developed almost like the term influencer, like,
Yeah.
because that's what they were doing. It was just like building these people, like characters
Yeah.
to follow to push supplements.
What do you think it takes now to build a company that stands out? Because now everyone's just copying everyone. Everyone's just copying
I mean,
everything.
like right there, it's just, you have to be different.
Yeah.
Like like everybody looks the same, like shirts all look the same. So that's actually kind of what we're doing with Flag, is we're going a kind of a different direction recently. Since moving to Montana, it sort of fits. Like we're kind of getting out of like the fitness brand. We have still a fitness influence, but like we do flannels, and
Yeah.
we're coming out with overalls.
Some lumberjack.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, I like it.
exactly.
I like it.
And bags, because the market is saturated, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, it's hard to compete in something that like everybody has, and it's great because that gives options to people to make money. But yeah, we're kind of going a different direction, just because we like it, we enjoy it.
Yeah.
We're outdoorsy people anyway. And it's cold in Montana, so
Yeah.
flannels make sense.
How do you feel? How do you feel about, like, because you were 100% one of the pioneers in this industry, the fitness space. I would say that I was a part of it as well in the fitness space, as far as like kind of like, I don't know, pushing content to a different level. That sometimes I'm like, damn, what did I create? Because I would talk to my guys and be like, everyone does all the same shit now. It's like I was a part of something that just is like super saturated. And then there's probably people who will watch this podcast who are younger now, because it's a whole new generation who probably don't even know who you are.
Oh, they don't. I know. There's no way. Like,
And it's crazy
I go to
though.
gyms now. I'm like, oh, they don't know who I am. Occasionally,
It's
there were some people at your gym that knew how, because it's a younger crowd, and
Yeah.
like I'm like older.
Yeah.
So, but there was quite a few people that knew who I was. I was
So-
very
so-
impressed.
My question to that is like, what is it like, kind of like phasing out? Like because I'm in the same spot, like in the fitness, because like, there's all these new people who are coming up. And what I noticed too, though, of the new people who come up, they don't stick around as much.
No.
Like they're kind of like here for a month or 3 months. They're really popular. Then they kind of fizzle out.
Yeah.
Like
Well-
back when we were doing it, it was like, if you were able to do it, you were able to sustain it for longer. Maybe just because there was just less people doing it.
There were less. Well, and we like going back, like you started when we started. Like we were on like the same journey. Like, and it's cool to see like how far you've gone with it. But it's because we literally started this. Like we were the original YouTubers.
Yeah.
And here I am. I'm still YouTuber. Like 15 years later, we're still doing it because.
How has your perspective of it changed? Do you have as much fun?
Before it was just Rob and I, we were just more vloggy style, just our day, crazy stuff that's happening. And then when I was competing, we'd just do like full competition mode where like I'm crying, and it was those are the ones that did really good, is because I was doing something. It was something for people to follow. Now I'm more doing it to help people. Mine are more informational, full workout videos where I'm giving you sets and reps and tips, and it's all drives. So I have a coaching group now, DLB Daily. That's my main focus right now, is like my coaching group, because it makes me feel good. I'm helping people. So now YouTube is the reason, like I'm doing YouTube to direct more people to my training app.
The training stuff.
Yeah.
So, but do you have more fun doing like what you did prior, or what you're doing now?
I think before it was more fun because there was no, like now it's like, I need this to work so it drives this machine. Like before we were just like putting out stuff just to put stuff out, there was no direction. But until I was like, okay, we're doing like Olympia prep, and that's when we started doing the oh my gosh, we used to go on tours, like the Flagner Fail
The
tours.
bus.
Yeah,
I
on the
remember
bus
that. Yeah.
every year. So we'd do something different. The first one was out of our truck, and we put graphics on it, and we just did like little gym tours and like see what people would show up. And then they just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then we started doing like adventure tour, and it was like a 30-day tour.
Yeah.
It was badass. Like you felt like an absolute rock star.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we'd show up. The one that was most memorable is I competed at the 2013, won it,
Yeah.
and thought something was going to happen. Like I thought, okay, like people are going to call and I'm going to get signed to a supplement sponsor. And like, I was first in the world and nothing happened. Like Rob was like calling photographers like, hey, do you want to shoot Dana the next day? Like tomorrow we're here, we're free. And they're like, no, sorry, we're booked. He's like, you just won. So I ended up and went to the gym and trained with Mike Rashid instead of like, I didn't even have a photo shoot of me after winning the Olympia.
How many did you win?
Just one.
Just one. Okay.
So then following year, 2014, competed again. And instead of like, that when you reach the top of something, you think like, this is the pinnacle. This is the mountaintop. There was like a lot of like letdown after that. It was like, I did this thing, everything I've focused on for the last, 8 years of my life, I've made it to the top. And I thought like, oh, like the shining doors would open and all my dreams would come true. And it was sort of just like, because, that's 2013. This is like 11 years ago. Like, supplement sponsors still wanted nothing to do with me because I was a girl with no boobs and muscle, and they didn't know how to shoot me. And I didn't do like the sexy route. So I wasn't deadlifting in thongs and stuff. I was like wearing sweatpants and like cut off tees, and they didn't know what to do with me. So the following year, Rob's idea is like, well, fuck those people. We're going to go on tour. So Drew, his brother, was getting married. So we had two 911s. We shipped our 911s out to Vegas. And then we did 9/11 tour all the way back to Drew's wedding in North Carolina. Yeah. So every day we'd map out like, okay, we're going to stop at this gym, and then we're going to stop at this gym. And I remember we stopped at this gym in Texas. I wish I could remember the name. And there was like a 5-hour line, like wrapped around the building.
Yeah.
And it was like rock star status. Like I got out, there's like 1,000 people there. And I was like, I have to meet every single one of these people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what we did. We would just stop, meet people for 6 hours, and then get back on the road and go to the next gym. Sometimes we got to train, but most of the time it was just meeting people.
Yeah, I remember the biggest. Because I would always go to like the Olympias or these events or the expos, and the biggest lines were always like, my line, your line, Jay Cutler.
Yeah, yeah. I was just gonna say.
Yeah,
the same.
Rich Piana.
Yeah, Rich.
Who else? Who else that time? At the end of the day, like, I don't know. It's such a weird space because it's very like grabby of other people's ideas. And I know you've for sure have felt this probably with your apparel, where people are like, oh, that's cool, and they just copy it and change the logo. And
oh my gosh, they'll literally put, because most of the, like, especially our tees, they were like song lyrics because Rob made music. Most of the stuff that we would put on t-shirts were song lyrics, and then you would see the same lyrics or the same like words. You're like, no wait, you just, instead of hustle harder, you just wrote hard hustle. Like it would be something stupid like that. They just would switch it or use the same, like, because Rob does graffiti.
Yeah.
So all the hand scripts were actually his hand script.
Yeah.
So people were getting like those stock script and like just using the same like script and then block text. And
yeah, because you guys were the first really doing that. Because I remember even back when I was working with scumbags from Young LA, I was we would reference your items and go, yo, this script looks really cool. And then it's like, those would be products we would make.
Yeah.
So like that's the thing is like, I've just seen it happen this way for so long. And I'm just like, man, like it's just such a weird space where everyone.
I get it because you're just following trends. And that's what fashion is, is it's just following trends. So everyone, especially when you're in like, although fitness seems like such this big thing, it's still a small niche market.
Yeah.
At least for us in like the bodybuilding world.
Yeah.
So everything ends up and you're like, it's nauseating to see. But
Yeah.
that's kind of what fashion is. It's like you're broadcasting trends that are coming like, oh, we need to do this next. So like right now, like the new trend for like the girls' leggings is the thing that goes down in the butt. So now you're going to see everyone's leggings look exactly the same because it's a trend. Someone started it. So, and it's going to just, everyone's going to do it.
Yeah. How did you ever have conversations with Rob being like, motherfuckers, like, did you ever see anything I did was like a copied or?
Oh, no, you never. No, definitely not.
But I remember loving, like you guys were probably the first company that had like really pretty script and topography on like writing and words.
Yeah.
So were you ever having conversations with like these motherfuckers? Like,
I mean, there are so many times where it's like, is it worth even saying something? Like, and you don't want to bring like attention to them. It's just like,
that was one of my biggest mistakes along the way.
Yeah.
Cause I was dealing with stuff with that company I was just kind of talking about. And like, I didn't bring up things sooner when I should have. And I just let them on me to like leverage themselves higher.
Yeah.
And that was one of my biggest mistakes was not like, obviously you can't like every week be like, they copied me.
They copied off of us again.
That's stupid. Right.
Yeah.
But like, it gets to a point sometimes where it's like, should speak up. Like one of my biggest mistakes was not speaking up sooner, was not telling the truth sooner.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you ever felt that way about not necessarily like someone like ripping off a design or whatever, but maybe just in general in life? Like, have you ever, I don't know, held back something that later on you're like, I should have just said that?
I usually don't hold back much.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't like people know I either like you or I don't like you.
Yeah.
I like most people. I'm pretty friendly. I feel like
you are.
everyone's very nice to me, but most of the time, at least in the business sense, like it's not worth our time or energy. We try to look at it as like, well, are they doing better than us? No. Okay, then who cares? And you just sort of move on.
Yeah.
It hurts. It's annoying. It is what it is. But most of the time, like we don't bring attention to it. Like right now, there's actually, so we had a gym in Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Warhouse gym.
Yeah.
So we closed it
Great
down.
name, by the way.
I know.
Yeah.
Great name.
Phenomenal.
Awesome gym. I miss that. I do miss that gym, but it was like a headache when we kind of moved away. It just made it even more of a headache. So we closed it down, and it now reopened as another Warhouse gym. Trust me. We told the girl I think she put like Warhouse Strength or something. We're like, you can't use the name Warhouse. And she's using like our logo font and everything. We're like, does it even matter? Like, good luck to you. It's not in a good area. We struggled.
The same building?
Same building. She just moved equipment in because we sold pretty much everything in it. The only really part is like Rob and I had like pictures. Like I had this giant photo of me on the back wall. It was awesome. So that's there. So she's definitely like tricking people. Like I've gotten so many messages.
You can take that. Like you could have them take that
I'm
down.
going to go break in and spray paint all over it or something. But it's definitely like I've gotten so many messages like, oh my God, you opened again. I was like, no, that's not us.
Yeah, and now you're signing memberships up because
she's just like,
it's just weird.
Dana will be here next week.
Yeah,
like,
next week, every week.
Yeah, every week. She's busy. She'll be back.
Why do you think people take advantage of that stuff? Because they don't know better?
A lot of people don't know better. Like we've had friends of ours that kind of knocked off shirts and they're like, dude, you're literally using the same fonts as us in the same like, it looks exactly the same. Maybe your words are a little bit different, and they're like, you inspired us like to start this clothing line. We're like, it's literally our clothing line but people don't realize like there's a difference between inspiration and outright stealing.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like
it's cute. It's fine.
Yeah.
You just have to sort of laugh about it and be like, it's not worth getting like angry about it.
Yeah.
It's just.
But imagine if they ran your back end and just like stole your customer list and data.
That
would be a little bit frustrating. Huh?
Yeah, you've had that happen.
I've had that happen.
Yeah, you've had that happen.
Yeah. I've also like given other influencers to the same wheelhouse, and
Yeah.
they essentially did the same thing. Like imagine you were creating Flag Nor Fail and you had 3 other like fitness brands to test products on and see if it sells well and go, okay, this doesn't sell well. Let's not sell it here. Let's not spend our money. Let's spend their money.
Spend their money.
Yeah. Okay, this does really well. Let's not sell it over here. Let's keep selling it over here. Yeah. That's kind of what I went through.
I feel like you've had a lot of run-ins where like things like we've had one really bad situation that I don't technically think I'm even allowed to talk about it, but it's so long ago.
Yeah.
But before like we started doing Flag Nor Fail at Expos, I worked for another company. Rob and I both worked for another company in the fitness realm, which it is what it is, but it was kind of that step to actually getting to Expos and have like being at a booth and what that's all about. Well, the owner, he's an absolute just scumbag, absolute scumbag. We worked for him. He was a friend of ours. We helped develop the product. I still like don't. There's still like parts of me that feels like I can't say it. It's like, man, I'm doing so much better off than you. Like if you try to sue me, I'll just sue you back. Yeah. But I named the product. Literally, I was the model of the product. Did everything. Rob shot everything. Like he just sort of came up with the idea, and we kind of helped finish it for him. And then we blew it up, so it was like people knew what it was. Man, I just want to say it. There's part of me that
okay, just say it.
No, because I don't want anyone to ever like give him attention. But it was a long time ago. But looking back, although we were just 2 kids being completely taken advantage of, he had Rob like leave his. He was at that point in time he was working at QVC. I don't know if you knew. He worked at QVC for making like decent money. Had him leave his job where he was making really good money. And like come work for him. And then just never paid him. Left his job and then never paid him, never paid me. But we realized so much that it was basically like business school. Everything we've ever learned from that situation was everything that we do now. Like we don't really work with people. Like we don't take like investor, like we don't want. It's literally just me, him, and his brother. Yeah. That's it. If anyone wants to come in, no, because we've worked with people before. And as soon as like there's just money makes people different. Yeah. And at the end of the day, they don't actually ever care about you. They only care about themselves. Yeah. So as long as, it's just us, like family. Everyone says don't work with your family, but for us, it's been the best thing ever. Yeah. It's like fully 100% trust Drew, which is his brother, with our entire lives. Like he's not gonna fuck us. Like he really isn't. Yeah,
I think it's more so. I think family's probably better, definitely better than friends.
Yeah,
because friends like creates entitlement.
It just makes the relationship weird because at some point in time it's like I owe you, you owe me. You're not working. Like it's gonna make the friendship weird. Yeah, I think so. Sometimes it doesn't, but. Yeah, I would just say it was like business school for the first year of our life. Yeah,
I went to a lot of that business school, learning the hard way too.
Yeah, so. Well, the dude, so we were trying to get out of it, and he wouldn't let us get out of it. So he went and bought, so I owned DanaLynn.com, but he went and bought like DanaLynnBailey.org, .net, .this, and started selling his product off my name, even though we were out.
I get it. It's tough. And the people just like, those people always just go, oh, it's just business.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just business. So you're just a scumbag for money?
Just business.
Yeah, that's what I always hear. Oh, it's just business. Like I would have people in my circle at the time asking like, yo, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And their response to that person would be like, it's just business.
Oh yeah.
Don't tell Brad. That's what they would say. It's just business. Don't tell Brad.
When we started picking up athletes with him, he would have his lawyer write these contracts in order just to f them. Like it would be fine print, and you're like athletes would be psyched. They're like, oh my God, I'm gonna make money. Basically wrote so like we can use your image for the rest of our lives
in perpetuity.
And then we started seeing that like, oh my gosh, that seems so wrong. Like you're literally f***ing this dude, and he's just trying to help us. And then we started thinking like, man, we probably should have read ours a lot. And to this day, if he's even still selling, he probably is still using me as the image, because in the contract, in the fine print somewhere, like it was like 50, 30 page thing. And you're like, what the I'm not going to read all this. And we were broke. We were like 22, 23 years old. Yeah. We didn't have a lawyer, and we didn't have money to buy a lawyer. So we're here just like two kids signing contracts, and I probably signed my entire life away. Yeah, so he's probably still using my image. Not that he's doing well. Scumbag.
It's crazy how it goes, man. There's just so much comes along with making money, and how people just switch up and change.
Oh, yeah.
It's different, man. Really different.
I'd like to say you are exactly the same.
Yeah, I've just dealt with a lot.
But I've seen people like, like, I guess because we've literally known each other for over 10 years, like from the very beginning, and like seeing your success and like millions, like, I mean, Joe Rogan talks about you. Like, how cool is that? But it hasn't changed you at all. Like, I haven't seen you in maybe, I feel like I see you on the internet, so I feel like I see you, but I haven't like officially seen you in at least 5 years.
Yeah.
And I feel like everything's exactly the same.
Yeah.
I'm going to go eat some crispy rice after this.
Yeah. It's just, I think I've definitely gotten to a point where I'm like, I know that if I'm helping someone, like the chances of them fucking me over is like, it's there. And I'm just like, I'll do it just because I'm willing to do it.
Yeah.
Or I'm not.
Yeah.
Because before, like, that was one of my bigger problems was, number one, I wouldn't tell the truth sooner. And I was too nice. I was too much leeway. And I'm like, nah, they wouldn't do this. So now I just draw my lines way sooner. Like, but to me, as far as me as a person, I know more now.
I'm like way more careful. Like, I don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
So like my circle is very small. And then when you see me like filming, or like if I shoot anything, like you can tell like, okay, that's probably a good person. Cause like, I'm not going to work with anyone that like I don't trust, or because you have to like earn trust for me, because I have been taken advantage of for many years, like prior to everything.
Yeah.
So
even
I've seen
before
it.
all the fitness.
No, fitness is just what made it weird.
Yeah, fitness really breeds. Like, I think
definitely just made it weird.
I think because it's the industry that's just it's such an easy entry point. Like, there's no barriers, because it's like, I look good, I'm a fitness person. Well, and then like you just have people grabbing.
It used to be like it is now. Like, and it's nice because some people can get mad. Like, I feel like competitors get mad that like, oh, like she's famous and never even competes. She doesn't have any credentials or anything. But like, that's cool now. Like, I love that you don't need to compete in order to be in fitness anymore. I think that's awesome.
I think that's like, sounds corny saying this. I think I was one of the first people who did that, because I did compete and I got more popular when I stopped competing.
Physique, right?
When it first came out. 2011. But I got burnt out of the industry.
I need to go review those pictures again and go look
at. I got burnt out because I was like, I lost a show. I remember it was like when they only did first in the class, but then the next show after was like they did first and second, got this pro card.
Oh,
yeah. At the USA's. And I remember, you hear the story like, oh yeah, this guy at the time won. His name was Nick Garton, and he beat me, and I was second. No, not even fuck Nick. I don't even care. It's just like, it's more so the industry behind was like, oh, he was under this person who's connected to this show promoter.
I mean, it's politics, man.
Yeah.
To say that it doesn't exist, like, the only reason I say it sometimes it's not, it's like, how the f did I win? I have no idea, because I never did anything. Like, I never talked to the right people. I wouldn't go to the right gyms, and I didn't do
Isn't it
all
funny
the steps.
How like, that was the thing though. They're like, you gotta go to
because
you
had to have the
gym.
certain coach, like, especially like, I feel like it's more prominent in like bikini. Like, you have to go shoot. Like, I remember like JM used to ask to like shoot with me. I was like, and I turned him down. I'd be like, no. And like, I didn't sign with the NPC. Like, I never signed with them. Like, they wanted you to sign under their whatever agency. And I was like, nope, that's weird. And I wouldn't do any of the shoots. I would just turn them down. But they were never mean to me. They were always happy to see me. But yeah, I don't know. I was like literally the black sheep coming up in the industry because I didn't do anything they told me to do.
Yeah.
I just sort of like scooted around the outside. So as much as I want to say like, I mean, there is, it's like, I mean, there's politics in Pee Wee sports. It's like, oh, like for real though, it's like this dad's the coach and his son is best friends with, like it happens.
It's life.
And it is also a business, like everything.
Yeah.
So to say it doesn't exist, it does. It definitely does. When, you know, there would be coaches that were on the judging panel and then they're judging
their clients,
their own clients. Right. It's like, I don't know about that.
So I experienced that. I remember being like, this shit. I was so burnt out on it. And then I just focused on content.
Yeah.
And then I told this story before, and then they start telling me to come getting popular now, like more and more followers. Yeah. Then they start telling me to come do their shows, like you're gonna win.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the? I did one in Texas.
Did you win?
I won.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did.
No one ever told me to do a show.
Yeah, this is you remember Lee Thompson?
Yeah.
I don't know. He's still a part. I don't think he's still a part of it, but like that it was my experience with it was like, oh, you guys, it's only about what I can do for you, and not that I just looked actually good. So that's when I was like, this is terrible. Like, it's because it's too subjective of a sport where we can go, well, today we're looking for this, and then
hey,
we're
you want
for that.
chicken or fish today? You guys want chicken? Okay.
Yeah, it's like,
sorry, fish.
Well, these judges on the East Coast are like they like this look, and so that's why you win. And the justification was always like, you're just picking the people you like because they're doing something for you.
Yeah.
So I was just like, this, focus on social media. But I guess to that point, I guess it kind of goes back to you winning. You did win, not even playing that role. Because I was always curious if you played in those parts with people. You did.
Like everyone would go.
You were just that good.
You know?
You were.
Just that good.
Like you were. I remember, and you were also so popular though too. I think you started getting a lot of popularity really fast on social media.
Yeah.
You were the first chick that was like jacked and like.
Because I was different. That goes back to like. Everything is like, what's going to set you apart? You have to be different.
Yeah.
And so even when I was competing in figure, I would get off like before I even went, because I didn't go pro in figure, I would be dead last on the figure stage. Absolutely. I would go to nationals, last call outs, but then I would get off stage and like, there would be a line for me.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, why are you guys, they're like, your abs, like, because I looked different. I didn't look like everyone had long curled hair, and I was like this jacked little big fake boobs, and I was just like this jacked little girl with a short bob haircut, like black hair, because going through and getting all your, like afterwards, you go ask the judges, like, what can I work on?
Yeah, how can I improve?
Like, how can I improve?
They're like, instead of putting your hips like this, try it like that.
Oh, they would just blatantly like, hey, you should go get a boob job. I was like, okay. But, and then like, they would be like, cause it's sort of like a beauty pageant, but with muscles. So like, they're like, you should grow your hair out and like, well,
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's literally exactly that.
Grow it like, cause they liked long hair. They didn't like my short hair. And I was like, well, I sort of like my hair. And I think that's the cool part about now, which fitness, like, I started in this game when girls didn't even really train. Like, like the first gym I ever went to, it was like a bodybuilder. It was a bodybuilding gym. Like it was just all jacked dudes, full of testosterone.
Yeah.
And I just came in, but I've always sort of been more of a jock anyway, like athlete, sports. I hung out with guys. And so it didn't really feel like I wasn't intimidated. Like I just went with Rob and I did exactly what he did. I just would follow. And I forget what I was talking about.
No, the fitness industry. I think you were going towards.
Like how I love that, you don't have to compete anymore. And like, I love that. Yeah, I was, to be on my humble stature, but like I was a part of that. Like I was a part of making it okay for a girl to like be in a gym, to have muscles. Like I was,
sure you were.
I was a part
I
of
remember
that whole
that.
thing.
I remember that 100% because I would, I would get messages about this, because we would film content together. I remember we went and did the stuff in the UK. It was like, I think it was like Kai Green, like
Oh,
Phil
yeah.
Heath was there, you were there.
The giant workout was just a bunch of dudes and me.
Yeah. I remember that. Those were like,
That was the best.
Yeah.
That was always fun. But to go back, like, I and back then, in order to do well, or to be, I don't know, I guess a fitness model, that's what I wanted to be, like on magazines, being a supplement sponsor, to make money just doing what I liked, which was fitness.
Yeah.
You had to compete in order to do that. You don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah, not at all.
Actually, like, I usually tell people not to compete because, what they don't understand is competition definitely like changes you.
In what sense? Like just
In mental, emotional,
Yeah.
how you think about food, how you think about training.
yeah.
And I think I have a really good head on my shoulders. I definitely have a good head on my shoulders because, I was told that, you look like a dude, you have too many, like, I've been told I'm doing it wrong for so many years, but I kept following what I thought in my head. I liked my shoulders. I liked my blocky abs or big leg. I have a really good head on my shoulders, and especially girls, they listen to people, and like they start working with a coach and they're like, oh, well, we're going to put you on this, this, and this to like shred you up. Like, so girls are doing like Anavar and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And they just listen. They just do. Oh, you got to wear this outfit. I remember when I worked with MHP, I went to my first photo shoot and they like gave me this tiny little outfit. And I was like, I'm not wearing that. Like, I'm just not. Like, I'll wear the sports bra, but I'm going to wear these sweatpants over top of this little, like, tiny little shorts that were not covering my butt.
Yeah.
Like, and fitness is just one of those things where, like, it literally churns through girls.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
It's fucking crazy. And now the only stuff, and like you made that joke and you came in here, you're like, what are we going to talk about? I'm not only.
I know. I said I'm a different clientele than
Way
I'm
different.
used to seeing here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only, like, again, that scares me. The OnlyFans model.
Why?
Just the future, honestly.
The future of what? Of their lives, or just of that
Just
sort of?
like, honestly, just women in general. It's like, picture like in 10 years, do you think women are going to be in the workplace? If they can just take their clothes off and make more money, it sucks.
Yeah.
We're actually making like almost like prostitution like normal, because it is. It's like a form of prostitution. You're getting paid.
Selling some form of your body.
Yeah, you're getting paid. You're getting DMs are like, hey, send me a photo of you shoving this in your vagina, and well, how much? We're literally making prostitution normal, and that's scary.
Yeah.
And like, I picture I have a niece. She's 6 years old, 7 years old. And like, kids like growing up now, it's like, what do you want to be? And they want to be like YouTubers. So in 10 years, when you ask a kid what they want to be, or like a girl, it's like, I want to be an OnlyFans model. It's like, oh, that is so scary. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad, but it's all your fault. Men, not you personally.
I think I had a hand in it.
Men in general, because if they just stop paying for it, it's funny because they'll sit there. Men are usually the first ones that are like making fun of girls. They're like, well, like, you're slutty, whatever.
Right.
But you're the ones paying the money and supplying.
It's
you can sit there and talk shit all you want. Like, yeah, she's just an OnlyFans model and not take her seriously.
Right.
But she's one just taking money from you.
It's interesting though, because like prostitution, or like the idea of someone selling their body like that, I mean, that's been around forever.
Oh yeah.
It's not like it's a new thing, but it is something that we're starting to normalize because of the digital age.
Well, think about it. It's like, you would think of, like a stripper. Like, we're taking like average girls, just girls, like any female, and you'd be like, 5-10 years ago, you're like, oh, you want to be a stripper? Like, oh my God, no, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But now it's like, is it that crazy? We're just making it, I guess, safer because you're like doing it in the safety of your own home. But like, I don't know. I've had some stalkers. Like,
It's interesting.
I think it's, you know, like girls aren't going to like want to like actually have a skill set.
Yeah. No,
So,
that's the bigger picture thing.
Yeah.
Where it just kind of becomes our like, because, you know, to a lot of people, obviously, everyone has value, right? But
yeah.
is that your only form of value is the question. And that's like the thing where
that's
like
the sad. I think that's the sad part for me. It's like, oh, like one, like I just have very. I mean, I'm super stubborn. I'm like very set in my ways, values, morals. This, like, you know, like I could make a lot of money. I think.
yeah, you make a ton of money on that.
I could make a
You
lot
need a
of money.
manager? Are you gonna me over and take?
No.
Like,
No,
God.
but I think that's the sad part is like, oh, like that's your value is just based on your body.
Yeah, well,
that sucks. Not your brain or
yeah.
And a lot of those girls, like there's probably a lot of talented people in there.
Yeah.
But they're really like realizing like, oh, like I've seen so many weird Instagram things where it's like a doctor quits like being a doctor and starts there was one of her like her just barking as a dog on OnlyFans. Did you see that? Like,
I saw that recently.
I don't know why that one just sprung up. I was like, yeah, but that's sad. It's like, yeah, we're not going to have female doctors because they're just going to be, well, I'm just going to show some ass and tits and we're fine.
The thing is the other, like, what's the other value gets overshadowed because like on social media in general, it's like, what is getting the engagement? So it's this really weird catch-22 because like you said, the guys who are the first to be like, you're also the first ones to buy the product.
They're the ones supplying
so
the
then
money.
then you create this system where like, even on the social, it's like also at the same time, what gets more clicks? The girl bent over with their ass showing or the girl who's like in a dress going to work or something. Like it's going to be the girl who's more explicit.
Oh, and I even see that with my own, like sometimes I just test things out just to test the waters. Like I was in a bathing suit in Cabo. I was like, I'm just going to see what happens. Oh, I don't do butt shots, but it was just a bathing suit. I was just in a bathing suit. Of course that does well.
Yeah.
But if the only thing I cared about was like, oh my gosh, how many likes am I going to get on my butt photo? I'd much rather like help someone.
Well, that's where the problem starts to go in, like, because this girl who has the only selling whatever, like there could be something else that she has a lot of value to give.
Exactly.
And then she second guesses it because when she posts the picture that's not getting as much engagement, she goes, wait.
My training posts are horrible. Like I'll do like full workout videos, like a full workout, and then in the caption, like write the full workout. But I know people look at it and they they actually use it. They say like, I love that you like give this kind of content. Insights on it are horrible.
Yeah.
It doesn't, but if I would post like a butt shot, it would be 40 times more.
Yeah. So
like,
it's weird because it's like, it's convincing people, like the algorithm, the system itself is convincing.
Your value is based on, dollars, but also like in an Instagram sense, it's based on like how many likes you get. So is it a mental challenge for me to like, why not just go this route? If all I cared about was likes and follows and all that, then yeah, I would go that route and I would be a lot more sexy, but I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'd much rather add value to someone's life.
Yeah. So
I'm just different.
No, it's good. I mean, it's good. So the
but
question.
I think that's the scary part is like, there's no value to that. Like it sucks.
And I've talked to girls who like have done the OF thing for so long, or they did certain types of content. They like, some really love it.
Yeah.
And some really own it. And some are like, I wish I never did this. And then they find themselves stuck in like that like mode of like, okay, well, if I don't keep doing this, I don't get the engagements, then they feel like they're losing everything. So then you get stuck in this.
I think it's stuck in that vicious cycle. And that's what we're all programmed. That's what social media is programming us to like, did you watch, what is that? Black Mirror?
Yeah.
Like, the
Yeah.
Black Mirror episode where like, I think I can't remember it, but it was based on likes, and like every day you're like trying to get the most likes and the most follows, and but that's like literally what they're programming us to care about is
Yeah.
just likes and follows. Like your value is just based on how many likes and follows you get,
Yeah.
and that's the sad part.
Right.
Is it hard not to think about that when I like post? Yes. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to think like, okay, I don't give a fuck. And I'm doing really well. And if I can help somebody instead of just like, oh, I'll post this picture because it's going to get a shit ton of likes.
Yeah. Well, so now it's interesting to have this conversation because you're doing really well, but you've developed stuff over many years to be able to say that.
Yes.
So now we talk about the whole new people who are like, to even get a footing to do really well, it's 10,000 times harder. So now they take,
it really is.
It's like they almost feel like they have to take the easy route. So the platforms themselves are like, in a sense, not making anyone do anything, but are pushing people towards that direction. So it's like, how do you as a woman combat that? You know, or even as a guy?
I mean, to me, I don't think the likes and follows actually matter, because those are the people that aren't actually going to be buying from you. Like, I don't have I have a great follow, like 2 million followers it's absolutely amazing. But I built that over like 15 years. And it is harder. Like if you're just getting into social media now, there's so many more people on it. Like we got in when like there wasn't as many people. So that obviously helped. But in my head, you want to build like a core group that like follow you for a specific reason. If you're trying to sell something. So just because you have 10 million followers, your rate of return is usually your ROI. The more followers you have, your ROI is usually a lot less.
Right.
That's just how it is. Like when we work with like micro influencers, do the best.
Right.
Like when we work with them for like flag or even supplement lines, it's because they have 10,000 like real followers versus like someone that has 3 million followers that are just, I don't even know where they came from. Some of them are even bought maybe because that was like a thing. I don't know if people still buy followers.
People still buy followers, people buy views, people buy likes, people do everything. You can buy anything nowadays.
Yeah.
Like on streaming platforms, on Instagram, on YouTube.
But at least as a business owner, like working with athletes, the best athletes to work with generally are in that like, 5,000 to like 80,000 range.
And you know why I think that is? I mean, I think you'll agree, but
because they're real people.
Yeah, and I think because the people who are making the content and the people who are like those micro influencers are really putting their effort and their energy into like providing value to those people and answering.
And it all comes down to value.
Yeah. Answering those messages, like really trying to engage with the people who engage with them, because then you create real relationships, not like, hi, how are you? Good to see you today relationships, but enough where someone gets a response and maybe some responses back and they're like, that person really f***ed with me. So that's why those people resonate and do so much better. And I've seen the same thing for sure.
Yeah.
It's always the people who add value outside of just this.
Just that.
And that's the thing that when we start talking about this OF thing that gets so interesting, because these girls, like there's definitely, I'm sure some of them and some not have value outside of it, but it's easier to go to this one. But it's like, if you just try to, I don't know, if you're a fitness girl, just do an only, like, make a program, try and create value for a woman and not just for men. And then slowly over time.
And that's where it comes out. Value is the most important part, at least for me. Cause I mean, I don't know what they're selling, but you have to base it like, so I'm selling a training app. So if I'm just posting like half naked pictures of myself, the people that I'm bringing to my page, they don't care. Like, they don't care about my training app. They just care about the naked pictures of me.
Right.
So if I'm trying to sell a training app, I need to post content based on what I'm selling.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I just think, it's a weird time.
But if you're just selling your body, then fine, just sell your body.
Yeah. It's a fucking weird, it's just such a weird time.
I think it's a boss move that like, Yeah, I make money and I can keep my clothes on.
Yeah.
Suck my dick.
Yeah, you've done that. You've done that. You've been doing that.
I've been doing that.
Damn.
I get that question when I do the ask me a question on Instagram. It's like, when are you doing OnlyFans? When are you doing OnlyFans? I usually trick them. Like I'll put like a butt picture and I just link them to my training because technically it is my OnlyFans. Those are my fans and they only get to see my content. It's $7. It's not that expensive.
Dude, I'm gonna start. I've had some
people,
really.
the guys get mad. They're like, what the fuck is this?
I've had some really creative ideas for that, for like trolling the only.
Oh, I always do. And then sometimes I'm just a bitch and I just say like, oh, I actually make really great money by and I can keep my clothes on.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Let me run to the bathroom real quick.
Do
I
it.
have to go to the bathroom like 1,000 times an episode. But speaking of easy, we gotta ask you that. What? No,
I said I'm
I
not.
don't think you're not. No, I don't think you are. Excuse me, rather. Steroids. We gotta ask you about it.
Oh,
We
yes.
have to ask you
Question.
because it's easy, right? Oh, it's so
I'm
easy.
waiting.
So I mean,
I love it.
be honest.
Yeah. Love it. Let's do a drug test right now.
When did you start steroids?
Oh my God, Bradley. Stop it. You know, Kenny KO, I actually changed him. Like, you know, Kenny KO, he goes around and asks everybody. So he was like, he for sure thought I was on drugs. Like, and then he met me in person. I think that's where I shine. Like, that's why I used to go to so many expos, because online, like in pictures, like the picture I posted at your gym yesterday, I'd be like, oh, for sure, drugs.
Because
Yeah, you just like, you're not like online. I look so much bigger than I am. And like, if you stand me next to another girl, then it's like, oh, she actually is pretty tiny. Like, you know, you've met Kristen Nunn.
yeah,
when you
she's
look at,
jacked.
she's smaller than I am. Standing next to each other, like her muscle bellies are a lot bigger, but she is a tiny little person. Just because, you know, you're not putting, like, you're just looking at a picture and you can't tell.
Perspective.
So when you see me in person, like, oh, I kind of let people down a little bit because they probably think I'm a lot bigger than I am. Most people think I'm like 5'8", 5'9", like a $180. I'm like, no, 5'4",
I think you're like
130.
an Amazon. So why like, I mean, I guess it just obviously just comes down to genetics. You're just because and also I guess
I'd like to say I have really good genetics, but I also have like not great. I feel like I'm like right in between, because there's parts of my body where like my legs, I could not, like competing, I could not, like even now to this day, like I don't have separation of legs, because naturally that's where women hold their water. Their fat is generally in the lower portion of your hips, your glutes and legs. But
so you've never done anything?
Nope.
No peptides?
Nope.
Little Anavar, little sprinkle, little wake up in the morning, little Anavar?
You wish.
Huh? Damn, I do wish.
Yeah.
I wonder what you would have looked like.
Oh, I would be Iris Kyle, for Christ's sakes.
So yeah.
You've seen me train, right? I've trained with you.
Yeah, I think, you know, because after all the years of doing it, there's definitely some tells where you're like, okay, like you see some people that say, oh, I'm natural. It's like, all right, buddy, you're not. Or girl, obviously you're not. I think the thing that people fail to recognize with like, because I've had buddies who have taken gear and they think like, oh, I'm gonna look like a bodybuilder in 3 months, and they're like, it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't work like that. No.
But also just genetically speaking, like I've met people where you're like, I know for a fact this person doesn't take steroids, and I'm like, holy shit, like their genetics, they're just insane. Like some people are just super gifted.
So I've also been an athlete my entire life.
Yeah.
Like I was on the swim team at like 5 years old, like waking up, going to swim practice with like the older kids. I played soccer, basketball, field hockey, swimming, track, forgetting one, and softball. Like literally played everything, good at everything. Just, I'm an athlete.
Yeah.
Just like you. Like you're a freak athlete. And when I started training, like I already had like from the swimming, like probably from swimming, I have a little broader shoulders.
Yeah.
From years and years of soccer, I already sort of have like bigger legs. And then when I started lifting, I just lifted. I didn't lift like a girl. I lifted like a boy.
Like the guys do.
And maybe I do put on muscle a little bit easier than most girls.
Yeah.
And but I've also been like thinking back, like I started training in 2000, like I started lifting in like 2003
How
or
old were you?
4, like 20. Yeah, like 20.
Yeah.
So
And this is
that's-
after
this
years
is-
of sports.
Yeah, so like 20. So I've been lifting 6 to 7 days a week for like the last 18 to 20 years. Like I'll say, yeah, 19 years. 19 years. And this is as big as I get? Don't you think I would be bigger, Bradley?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like, yeah, I just feel like I would be a lot bigger.
Yeah.
So that is actually why I worked with George Farah. Once I did all my own preps throughout all the years. I did my own diet. I still do, like I did all my own training. The only reason I worked with George Farah, because he was the only person that believed me. He was like, he's worked with tons and tons of people. I met him in Alaska.
He's worked with people on steroids and off steroids, obviously.
Yeah.
I know.
So he can tell. He's so smart. Like, he is brilliant man. I met him in Alaska and I trained with him. And afterwards, and I had just went pro. Like, I did that somehow by myself. I don't know how. And that was when I was like, I feel like now that I'm a pro, like, I feel like I need a coach. Like, I don't actually know what I'm doing. I'm just guessworking. Like I'm doing I was just on bodybuilding.com, like researching like how to dehydrate yourself, like how to get water out. Like I was doing all my own like research and trial and error. And finally, once I went pro, I was like, maybe that's like, I want to be serious. Like I want to get to the Olympia. Like I want to get to the bigger stages. So there were a couple coaches, I'm not going to like say names, but like immediately I told them like my issues, it was my lower body. Like I couldn't separate my legs and
what? They're like, what gear are you on?
Well, they're like, we'll just, you have to be on Anavar and then it just goes away. I was like, I can't work with you because I know what it does to girls. It's not good. And that's why you see, especially girls in the fitness industry, you see them for 2 or 3 years, and then you don't see them anymore.
Yeah,
because it
destroyed their hormones.
wrecks girls.
Yeah,
destroys your hormones. You're and like once your voice changes, it doesn't go back.
No,
just like you're done. Like, but you can tell just like in their skin, their hair, their voice. Like even just to me, the skin's usually the thing that I notice the most. Like I don't know,
thinness of it.
Yeah. It just looks almost, I want to say like leathery. I don't know. It's just like looks different. Plus, like if they had like acne, it's like that's a sure sign. It's like your back is just full of acne. Like, how old are you? Like, we're not in middle school anymore. Your back shouldn't be covered in acne. Like, that's not good.
So, I mean, do you think it's more prevalent now? Probably in this space because of social media, like steroid usage.
Yeah. Well,
it definitely seems that way.
Think of like all the like you have like, like the Sam Suleks, like that dude is what, 20?
I think he's like 22 or
22?
something, maybe 23.
Fuck, man. If you told me he was 40, I'd probably believe you. Like,
because of how fucking built he
and
is?
everyone, I mean, I love Rich Piana, but like the whole, like just freely talking about everything. And they like, it's almost like glamorized.
Yeah,
and
Sam doesn't really talk about it.
No, he doesn't talk about it. But that that young generation.
There's a whole lot of other people who talk about it. For sure. Yeah.
Oh my God. And like, what's the one dude? He died like a couple years ago. So sad. But Boston Lloyd, like the Boston Lloyds.
Yeah.
But like everyone just made it into like, oh, well, this is what you have to do. And the problem is like you have people on the internet like Greg Doucette, like he's just like makes videos, YouTube videos. He gets views off of just saying like Daniel Bailey's a f***ing liar. And I know it makes people angry, but it makes people angry because you can't f***ing do it yourself. And you can't believe that a girl can look like that. But it's like my work ethic is literally 19 years. I'm 40. I'm not even I'm not even I haven't competed in 10 years. I still train 7 days a week. Why? Because I'm a psycho.
Yeah.
Because I'm a psychopath.
Yeah.
And if anyone that's ever trained with me, it's like I out-train everyone.
Well, it's because of steroids. Yeah, that's what Greg would say. Dude,
Exactly.
But it is what I get it, right? Like I understand the idea of like people say it because they just think it's just not possible.
Because it's not possible for them. And like, this is a really thing I say, but it kind of helps me. It's like, there are just people in this world that are just better than you.
Yeah,
there really are.
That's a fact. I think in all facets.
Like, think of it like I'm never going to be in the Olympics for track.
Yeah, there's just people that are just better.
They're just, and like some of those girls, like they probably don't even have to train. They're just fast.
They just wake up and they're like, win.
I can run like as fast as a cheetah. And like, you're just better than me. Like, you're just better than me. And that just sucks. And it's a hard pill to swallow for some people, especially men. They hate me. They absolutely hate me. But I will say, like,
it's funny.
They do. Like girls, whatever. But men hate me. Like, they're like, you're a liar. Like, it's like, man. So that's my only reason. If I ever did like a show ever again, if I ever went back to the Olympia, I wouldn't win it because I would look comical next to, like, it's just the evolution of bodybuilding. It's past me. Like, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I used to get marked down for having striations in my shoulders. They got striated glutes now. Like, it's crazy. Women's physique is probably the most conditioned. I mean, they were more conditioned than the men's open for sure. The top 3 girls, like, their conditioning is insane.
Yeah, like,
it's insane. And when I was competing, there were quite a few of us that competed all natural. Like Tony West, like, no one remembers her, but she came from a all natural federation and came to the IFBB. And the only reason I did the IFBB because no one cared about NABA and all. Like, I competed in NABA for a couple years, but
it's a tested federation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, tested. But no one cares about, like, those federations. So the most I wanted to be with the hardest competition and where I was going to get the most eyes and the most popular. And that was like NPC and IFBB at that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys hate me, man.
Damn. It's
just
funny.
ruining. Dude, let's go right now. We'll just stop this podcast. We'll go take a piss test right now. Yeah. I looked jacked today in your gym. The lighting was so good.
Dude. Oh my God.
So good.
So do you just like, cause you could have lived in LA. You never did. Do you just
I could never live here.
I was going to ask
you
that.
Good for you. Yeah.
Good for me. I don't know if it's good for me.
I mean, there's too many people here.
Fuck, dude. I just
Dude, my next door neighbor is like 40 acres away.
It just sounds like a dream.
So like when in summertime, like I can walk outside naked and I'm like just in the element, just like on my back porch.
Just like Liver King in it.
Just Liver King and it just
minus the stairs though? Minus the stairs.
Minus the stairs.
Yeah. Did you you remember that when he got popped? But he came back and was like,
that's the problem. It's people like that. That's why no one believes me, and it makes people angry because they think I'm like this crazy liar. Yeah. Because so many people, like Kenny KO does it, like, oh, he interviewed some girl and she's for sure. So like her voice was so deep. She's like, yeah, look at my face. Like, of course, look at my face. And she doesn't even like her jawline's like, and it's like,
wait, she said no?
She said no. She's all natural. And he's like, really?
Yeah.
I laugh so, but he actually believes me now. If you ask him, I mean, he might not say it on camera. I don't know if he ever officially said it on camera, but yeah, he comes every single time.
You had to have dealt with this like your whole career.
The whole time.
Yeah.
But if I ever did a show ever again, that's the reason I would do it. I would get drug tested like on a weekly or I don't bi-weekly or however often I need to like prove it. But then everyone would be like, oh, you're just getting fake results.
Yeah,
like,
you don't win.
I'll never win.
You don't win.
But put it out there. This was always an idea for Rob and I. It'd be a great marketing plan. I have some money I can throw out. But challenge the entire world. I compete. I will bet anybody. Put $100,000 on it. I will, if anyone to the world, you can come, drug test me, come take me. We go to an actual facility. We go get drug tested. If it comes back and I'm positive, I give you $100,000. If it's negative, I take $100,000 from you.
Yeah.
And that's what I would do. And I would just make money.
Damn, dude.
I'd be like, suck my, check those results. You owe me $100,000. And they run off.
Damn. So what do you think, like, what do you think the biggest challenge to be successful in the fitness space is for people now?
For people now is just like visibility.
Standing out.
Yeah, standing out. It's so hard. Like, cause it's so awesome because everyone's doing it and you can make a living doing it, but it's so hard to like stand out now because just everyone's on the internet. Everyone's on social media. My mom's on social media. Like, what? Why does my mom have an Instagram? Like, why is that a thing? It's so funny.
Was she making content?
She makes reels. A lot of times she just like steals pictures from me and like makes her own reels. And
It was like, this is my daughter type reel? What
sometimes. I don't know. Kim Linn, my mom. But it's like everybody is on social media.
Yeah.
Like Facebook.
So how do you think you stand out then now? If you were, let's say you were 20 years old again.
It's weird. I don't think I stand out anymore. I probably used to. The only reason I stand out is I still think I'm different than everybody else. I'm not. I don't follow anyone's footsteps. I don't follow what everyone else is doing. I think if anything, I've paved the way for a lot of females to like do this. It's just really cool to see, like girls in the gym, like that wasn't a thing. Girls with muscle,
girls with muscle is like really a thing now.
It's a thing.
It's very popular.
It's actually weird if girls don't train now. It was weird for me, like the amount of hate that I used to get. Like I don't get that anymore because it's like normal now. We have completely normalized girls being strong, which is awesome, and girls having muscle, which is also awesome. Like just being able to like look however you want.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know how to, it's hard to stand out because there's just so many people and everyone's attention is like a millisecond. So like you got to like really get them in those first 3 seconds. And if you don't get them, like their attention's over there.
I think it still just comes down to value though, right? Like the difference, like being unique in the value that you offer.
Yeah.
And, or just trying to cultivate that value within your audience as much as you can.
Yeah.
For as genuine from a genuine place. Cause like I said, I think most people do things just cause they think there's like a money on the end of it. And if you could treat things, yes, you need to make money and yes, you need to sell something to like sustain your life.
That shouldn't be your first and only thing.
Yeah.
Like if your first reaction is like, how much money am I going to make? Your intentions are wrong.
Yeah.
It's like you have to like care about the thing first and then the money will always come back.
Otherwise it doesn't sustain.
It doesn't sustain.
Yeah.
That's in my head the best way to go about life in general. Like it just as a good human being is not always just think. I think that's why like I am so against the OnlyFans because it's like you're just concerned about the transaction. Like there's nothing else you're concerned about but making money.
And it's also not that this is a bad way to live. Very present. It's also just like right now money because being present is good. That's one thing, but like. Just trying to make as much right now sometimes like doesn't pay off the way you think it's going to pay off in the future. Yeah. You know?
What would happen? I always thought that's because, it's the internet and like, it's so easy. Like, what if they just deleted OnlyFans? Like it just didn't exist anymore. They're like, fuck this. We're just deleting it.
It would just be another platform would come out and offer the same.
That's true. But if it just got deleted, it's like, now what are you guys going to do for income?
There'd be... Oh man, even more debt in the U.S., huh?
Very, very, very. I just don't know where all this money's coming from. I know girls that are making like millions of dollars. It's like, where where is this money coming from?
Just fucking random dudes. It's insane to me, but I guess it kind of makes sense. I don't know. It's weird. I've never spent a single dollar on like anything like that. Ever. No, honestly.
Yeah, because they're just here. You just get to interview them.
No.
You're like, come on over to my house.
No.
And then we're doing a podcast.
Yeah, funny. No, I just like, it's just weird to me. It's just like a weird.
I'm Bradley Martyn.
Shut the fuck up. No, that's funny. Dude, because like, it never felt like why, in my mind, I'm thinking, why would I want this like sort of like distant sort of weird connection with someone that I don't actually know?
Do you think it's mostly guys that can't, they can't get it? I mean, you can obviously you're a very attractive guy. Like you could get a girl.
Maybe that's why. Maybe it's just guys.
Just like we have, there's a lot of unattractive dudes out there.
I don't know about I mean, maybe just uncomfortability. They're just like they're afraid to approach
because of social media. We can't talk anymore. We don't have good communication skills.
It's just all pain into itself. It's just creating.
We're just in this
good cycle.
Rabbit wheel circle.
Vicious cycle, man.
It's bad. We're like the universe. Like,
well, the universe will be good. The human race is shocked.
The human race.
It's shocked.
We're just a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
We're just getting stupider and stupider.
Yeah, it's bad, man. Speaking of that, like, what about kids for you?
Oh, yeah. I've gotten that question many, many times. So it's funny. We didn't
because you're not beating the step allegations with, the kid thing.
Yeah, it's
because that's when they're like, maybe that's why.
No. We've been hustling and like competing was obviously like my number one. So we didn't try before.
Yeah.
We didn't start thinking about like, hey, maybe it would be kind of cool to have like, I think once Drew had his daughter, we're like, man, it would be cool.
Rob's brother.
Yeah, Rob's brother.
Right.
Sorry, I say him like you.
No, you're good.
You know him. Once he had Tegan, and like Tegan's rad. Like she's cool. Like it's really cool being an aunt. I'm like, man, it'd be really cool if like we both had kids, we raised our kids together. So we started like thinking about it, like, but like we haven't not like we just at one point in time it was just like it either happens or we're gonna just let it up to the gods, like world. And yeah, one of us is broken. It's probably Rob. He did a lot of pro hormones like in his day.
Yeah.
Like, pro hormones were big.
I think there's like other things
in
like
his 20s.
IVF and stuff. There's other ways to do it.
Yeah, that's the route we would have to go. So like we'd have to be like because it's not a fun route for the female at least. It's not. You'd have to just make that decision. Literally have to like, hey, we need to put these guys together in order. Yeah, one of us isn't working. We get that question all the time.
Yeah, I kind of figured. Because it's like the chances that you guys have been together for so long it would have happened.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because there's no pulling out or anything. Okay.
Thank you, Jesus Christ. Only coming soon. Thank you, Rob and Dana. Point of view or what? Jesus Christ, man.
God, just got X-rated, guys. I don't do only, but I'll talk about myself.
Yeah, no, I get it. But that makes sense. I kind of figured that too. I really did.
No, and we still.
So you'd have to actively pull the trigger on that happening.
We literally have to like go to Utah. I feel like there's a lot of good doctors in Utah. Mormon.
Yeah. Is it gonna happen?
We both need to like actually. We love our life. Maybe there's like a selfishness part of it.
This is where it gets interesting.
This is like our lives are really awesome.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting because it's like it's also when is it enough of other stuff?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because we didn't start thinking about it till we were like 38, honestly, which was only like 2 years ago.
Right.
And we were just like, wow, it's kind of crazy because we haven't actively tried and we haven't actively not tried. So there's no way the possibilities of like the last 10 years of not really trying and actively not trying, that it wouldn't happen. So it's like, okay, one of us has got to
gotta get it fixed.
Something.
So
it's always weird because I always find that healthy people, like people that really take care of their bodies and stuff, like my sister-in-law, like they had a really, really hard time. But then it's like, there's some people that just pop out babies. It's like, you should not even have children. Like, you can't even take care of yourself. And you can just reproduce at like such an crazy rate. And then people that really take care of themselves, I feel like, are always the ones that have the most problems.
Yeah.
It sucks. I don't know why. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, in the wild, that wouldn't make sense. Like, the healthiest ones should be like the ones reproducing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not the malfunctioning ones, like, that are just like baby. It's like
Malfunctioning ones.
Yes.
The dummies. Oh my God.
I mean,
No, just
for a
funny.
night, yeah.
For lack of a better word.
Just people that like can barely take care of themselves. That like you look at them, you're like, oh my gosh, like, how do you live every day? And they have like 18 kids. Like, how?
18 kids.
Like, I don't
shit.
know.
So what do you enjoy doing the most now? It's not content.
There's
I know it's
so
not content.
much stuff to do, and I think that's we live in Montana now. We moved there seven years ago. The thing about Montana is there's too much to do.
Really?
Yes.
The idea of Montana is like
well,
mountains.
it's all outdoors,
Yeah.
of course. So like right now it's like snowboard season. So yeah, and we literally have a mountain. Like, I can leave my house and be on a chairlift in 25 minutes.
Damn, that's
like, it's amazing.
yeah.
Like snowmobiling. Like, there's just so much to do. Like, summertime, it's like overwhelming.
Should I put a zoo culture there? Is it popping or not?
I mean, there's not a whole lot of people.
Oh, okay.
You can just train at our gym if you
Yeah.
want to come.
I
I
feel
wouldn't
like-
say it'd be super profitable.
Isn't Montana like? I feel like that's where all the super rich people who are trying to get out of California go.
Oh yeah.
They all go to Montana and buy like these big estates.
Yeah, especially down like by Big Sky.
Big Sky.
Big Sky. So we're up. Like, Whitefish is definitely like, especially where we live, it's a lot of people from California. Like, they leave in the winter, go back to their like California home, and then they come in the summer. But Whitefish is very like affluent for sure. Ski resort town, really
Yeah.
cute, but it's not like Big Sky. Big Sky is like just like most people, like if they're gonna go to, they think of Yellowstone. Yellowstone's like down there. So you guys can keep going down there. Don't come up.
Yeah.
We're straight up. We're like 50 miles to Canada.
It's it's funny. You said they can keep going down there. You stay up there. It's funny how people move places and they're like, everyone was going to Texas. They were all going to Austin. They were like,
Go to Texas, man.
They were-
It's beautiful. I love Texas.
they were like, don't California my Texas.
Well, it was a thing. So in Missoula is like a little bigger city. Not big. It's barely a city. It's like a town for you. Not even a town.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like the next city over. And I guess we had like a lot of people from California. And your laws are different than ours. Like, we open carry.
Yeah.
Like it's that.
That's how it
It's
should
the
be.
wild
That's how
west.
it should be.
Like, you come in strapped. In Missoula, it's a little more like liberal, but it got a lot more liberal. That there was a bunch of people moving in trying to change like gun laws, and then all of a sudden, because we're Montanans, we're too busy. We're not going to like meetings and finding out all about these laws that are changing. Well, it almost got turned like you couldn't have a gun in Missoula, which is in Montana, which is crazy. Luckily, all the locals came out and like voted against it, so it didn't go through. But it was like, whoa!
Like, wait
you
a
did
sec.
almost California us. Like, what the? But luckily, we overturned them. Yeah, don't come to our state. You're fleeing your state. Don't come to my state.
Well,
And
it's like come, but don't change because like you
Don't
came because
change
you wanted
my-
it to not be that, but now you're here.
You're here, and you're trying to change it and try to make it more
Like the place you left.
Yeah,
It doesn't
stop
make sense.
it.
It doesn't
Stop
make
it.
sense.
Like,
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I'll never understand that.
Yeah, I don't
the
know.
Austin thing was like it was a big wave, and I know like I wonder if stuff changed over there where it felt like California now.
oh, Austin?
Yeah, Austin.
Yeah,
it
for
was
sure.
It was like a ton of people were leaving here and going there.
Oh, I mean, out of all of Texas, Austin is definitely on the more like liberal side.
Yeah.
Like, you would think down there, like just gun swinging. Not in Austin. It's like a weird little hippie town of liberals, which is fine. I don't care. But yeah, we like our guns.
Yeah.
I just bought night vision. I'm so psyched.
Damn. I just went up to Mammoth and was shooting guns with my brother. I loved it. Maybe I came back. I bought like 4 more guns.
I know. Yeah, I just
It's just way out. California is like the process.
hopefully Rob's not listening to this now. It's his Christmas present. I got full optics. Think about
night vision.
Yeah, like night vision. Like real night vision.
Like on a helmet night vision?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Everything. We did a YouTube video. He's like an ex is he a Marine or Navy SEAL? He's a Navy SEAL. And just put me through some like tactical training, and we went in our woods and like shot at night. Like it was pitch dark. I could see for like miles. It's crazy.
You know what?
We're gonna play tag outside. It's gonna be awesome. Or not tag. Hide and go seek. Think about hide and go seek with night vision.
Guns.
No, with night vision. With night vision. You're like, okay, you go hide. I'm gonna find
I can just picture you guys randomly doing this at night. It's like hilarious, like in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I mean, you have to watch out for bears and mountain lions, but
you got a gun on you.
But I have my optics so I can see them.
Yeah, this is funny because I was up, like I said, in Mammoth with my brother, and we were walking the dogs, and we were just randomly. It's just like middle of nowhere, and we're out like camping because I was camping in my van. You saw it when we walked in.
I know, super sick. I kind of want a tour of it.
And then I'll show you after. And then we were walking with the dogs, and we're walking just randomly in this one direction. I have this like big ass bright light, and I see like coyote eyes, and I'm like, "Oh, it's a coyote. We should go back this way." Like we turn. As soon as we turn to go back that way, there's 5 of them over here, and I was like, "Oh, we got to get the fuck out of here." Because I have my gun, I could shoot them, but it's like I don't want to deal with the dogs and all this.
Yeah, and that would be what I'd be worried about. Like coyotes, they're pretty tiny.
Yeah, but like 5 of them attacking your dog wouldn't be good.
Your dog, that's not.
I would have had to pick that up and leave, but yeah. Anyways, I just what I was gonna say. There's something that I'm curious. You probably do this on the daily, but when you get out and like you're just isolated in a way, because I'm assuming you said you had 20 acres.
Yeah, we're on 20. Like we're ag 20, so the minimum you can have is 20. So like our one neighbor has like 100.
So you have way less light pollution, I'm assuming. Yeah,
there's laws, at least in whitefish outside, that we don't have like street lights.
Yeah. So, I spend very little time in places like that. And this was the first time in probably the last 10 years that I went to spend time in a place like that with no light pollution, like no sound, no people, no like internet. And I was like,
amazing.
Yeah. And I really urge people listening to like, if you're not in an area like that, to go just visit an area like that, because it really puts in perspective. I would just genuinely say the things that really matter, because you get in a place like that and you realize like all the not just because you're somewhere without all the stuff, but because I was there in the van and I had like the basic things that I need, like some food, some water, I had the shelter, or if someone else that could have a tent or wherever they're at camping, try this out. But you sit there at night or during the day and you only hear like wind,
just the sound
or nothing.
Yeah.
And it just put my life in perspective. And I wasn't taking mushrooms at the time. I wasn't doing anything, because I talk about mushrooms and stuff. Everyone's probably like, "Oh, he was high on mushrooms." I wasn't on mushrooms. I wasn't taking ayahuasca. I wasn't on any sort of like medicine or drugs.
No, the drug was nature.
Yeah. And it really made me just be like, it puts just like all the problems, all the shit that you're like dealing with or stressing about, just in a different almost category in your mind, where it's like, what the am I so like? Because at the end of the day, people say this all the time. You don't take it with you when you go, and you don't, all these things are just, not that they're not great for people to try to accomplish and to achieve and to have, but we complicate so much in our life to have those things or to get towards those things. And I think the true power in like even getting to them is like being good with nothing.
Simple.
Yeah. And letting your mind focus on the things that truly matter. Yeah. If you want to go and have all this money and have a yacht and have a nice house and live in LA, like that's cool. But like, I think the more, and this is happening with social media too.
I think the more stuff you have, it just creates more stress, and the more you feel like you need more.
Yeah, and you get disconnected from the shit that really matters. So whenever I talk to people who live in places like that, or like I said,
why do you think I'm so happy and I love life?
Yeah, I mean,
we moved from like Redding, not that. I mean, we had 40 acres in actually Redding, Pennsylvania. We lived on top of a little. It wasn't a mountain; it was like a hill. But moving to Montana has. Like, it's just, I don't even feel like I lived in Pennsylvania. It just feels like home. So I always, because we traveled so much, like when we came home, like I want to come home to like serene, calm, and like that's what it is. That's what Montana is for me. Plus, it's just fun. Like I literally have to schedule out my week. Like, okay, today we're gonna ride dirt bikes. Tomorrow I'm gonna ride my horse, and then next day we're gonna go hiking. Like, there's just too much to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, being outside with nothing, there's nothing better. Like my favorite place on earth is actually, it's called Polebridge. It's like maybe an hour from where we live, but no cell service, nothing. That's where I'm like happiest. I like just not that feeling. It's like if you know your phone doesn't work, then you don't have to look at it. But like when your phone's here, like you're constantly just like picking up your phone, and you're looking at it. It's like, knowing that it doesn't work, then you don't look at it. And there's like a stress that I feel like goes with a cell phone just always being there.
Without a doubt.
There's, and I'm not even like a big cell. Like I don't really do a whole, like I don't just sit and scroll. I'm not actually a scroller, but I do. I feel like it's like if it's there and it's visible and it's like working, like I feel like I'm always having, just check it. Like it didn't ding or anything. Why am I? What do I have to check? Why do I have to check?
Opening and closing the same
just
apps.
like why am I checking Instagram? I don't fucking care. Like what am I checking? Why? Like what is that? There's like pressure that goes with that.
Yeah, we've really like gone closer and closer to this I guess technology age of it's like become a part of us.
Yeah.
Like you've seen the stuff with AI. Like there's this recently I just saw this guy put on some device, not a Neurolink, not Elon Musk Neurolink, but I'm assuming this would probably do the same thing. Put something on that like he wasn't audible, he wasn't able to speak, but he put this on and it read his thoughts.
Oh my God, that's freaky.
And it read like it was able to read his thoughts like onto like a computer somewhere. Like he was just not saying anything, but he's like thinking the thoughts, and they were just capturing
coming it. Oh my God.
It's like where are we going? But I'm saying like this. The reason why I'm talking about this is like we seem to be getting further and further away from like just being
like
human.
now, like I mean, virtual reality. Like instead of like video game, like now, like kids like put these things on and they're in a different world. Like part of your cell phone is actually like a different virtual reality. But now, like everyone's gonna have like the freaking just walking around and like just picturing a new world. They're not going to actually live in the world that we are in.
I mean, it's like we're turning into eventually like cyborgs.
We're just little,
We're turning into
like,
human robots.
yes.
I feel like it's so weird. It's like, is that what is supposed to happen, or is that?
I don't know. I'm just really glad. Like as scared. Like I'm just really glad I grew up when like we grew up. Like we grew up without all of this stuff, so I know if it went away, I'd be okay. But like kids now growing up, like they have to have technology. Like I think we had the technology we had. You remember Atari?
Oh yeah.
Little stick shift? Like we had an Atari, but like we had encyclopedias. We had to read maps. Like we have like skill sets that kids like don't have anymore. So if I watched I gotta think of the movie. It's on Netflix.
A recent one?
Yes. Julia Roberts is in it. It's basically there was like a cyber attack on like America. They took out all the satellites. I gotta think. It's a really good movie, but really scary. But they took out like all the like even a sat phone didn't work. So I don't know if it was Russia or China like did like a cyber attack. It's like literally the cheapest way that you can destroy a country because the country basically will implode itself. So you first take out technology because we're all.
I just saw this.
Right?
Yeah.
It was good because it's like, man.
Well, it's kind of scary because it's like that's the future.
Well, it's probably going to happen in 5 years. Like I feel like when they do a movie of that, it's like 5 years later it happens. It's like you guys knew this was like you planned this. Stop it.
You ever seen Don't Look Up?
Yes.
That's the kind of shit that I'm like, whoa, this is.
Yeah. But it was.
It's like in our face now. We're like, yeah, we're just going to show you what we're doing. This is the world.
This is what's going to happen. Prepare. And like some people prepare. Like we sort of prepare. We're like, we need a bunker. Like after we watched that, we're like, we need a bunker.
We need a bunker. Well, you heard Mark Zuckerberg is building a $100 million bunker in Hawaii.
I mean, the next house we have, we're having a bunker.
Straight up.
I mean, we got like guns and ammo. We actually have food,
But think about that.
Food for about
richest,
a year.
If the richest people in the world are doing like that, it's like...
It's because they know stuff.
They're pretty smart.
No, but they also know stuff because they're a part of that.
There you go.
Like, I don't want to get political in that Hollywood shit, but like...
Yeah.
They're the people that have money, they know stuff.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah. It's a weird world. Really, really weird. It's getting weirder.
It is definitely weird. So we're gonna have a bunker. So
I feel like
when the world is starting to end and like they shut everything down and everyone's like just killing each other because they don't trust anybody. But it basically, so the first thing they do is they shut all power, like nothing works. So GPS didn't work, your phones didn't work. So you had no communication. So no one could communicate.
Yeah.
You then have to resort back to like, well, shit, like I only know how to get I only know how to get places by using GPS. It's like, luckily we have skill set. Like remember reading maps, like when you had to travel, you had to print out the map and you're like mapping out like by hand, like, well, then I take 91 and then we'll just make a right on 83. Like we know how to do that. Kids won't be able to do that. So it takes all those like skills that, you know, just are on your phone and it's real life then. But then it comes down to like people just end up and like start not trusting each other, or you have supplies that they need. It's just, in the end, ends up and the whole world basically implodes. It's the cheapest way to like,
I saw this movie.
Destroy a country.
Yeah, why am I forgetting the name right now?
Because we just destroy ourselves.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. I can't think of the
I feel
name
like
of it.
I need to buy something in Montana or somewhere out of Cali.
Well, you can hang out in our bunker that we're making.
Yeah.
We have food for at least a year. I could probably ration it a little bit better if Rob didn't eat so much. We have food for at least.
But it's all the time, right? It's like, how do I get there in time? You know, because the planes are.
Well, yeah, because all the planes went down, so like you can't go by plane. So you can drive, but then you got to print out have a map with you because your GPS isn't going to work to get to our house.
I can figure that out just by signs, though.
You're just like. The sun's here.
The North Star. I just follow the North Star.
Follow the North Star.
That's it.
They're north, so we'll follow the North Star.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're not like, I wouldn't say we're preppers, but a little bit.
I feel like Rob would be.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Rob would be that guy.
We don't trust people, let alone the government.
Yeah, that's. Oh my God, that's a whole nother thing. It's
so
crazy.
you just got to be prepared.
Yeah.
When
if you had to guess, when would it all go to? What year do you think it'd be?
Oh, we got like 5 years left.
I swear to God, I feel like it's like
we got like 5 years left.
I swear to God, I think there's 10 max.
Max 10.
Max 10.
And then,
which is such a crazy thought. But then again, so I feel like people have been saying this forever though. That we got 10 more years, like Y2K and.
Oh, that was baloney. But no, I think all of it. So we're definitely like on the conspiracy theorist side, just so you know. I don't know where you. I love all those. Stand.
Well, I feel like conspiracy
You're
theories
in
are
LA.
like. Listen, I'm here, because I have a lot of businesses here.
I know.
I'm very much like on the conspiracy theories are like kind of just all f***ing true. Like, to be honest.
Well, they're called that, but they're not conspiracies when they're actually real.
Which ones are you really into right now?
There's everything. Like, there's the Hollywood route. I don't want to go down the Hollywood because we're in there, and I want to get out of here alive. So I'm just saying.
Not a ketamine
like
overdose.
the children and the blood. The
oh my God!
Do you know about that?
I mean, you hear about that. Like, not that I hear people doing it. I'm just like, you hear people talk about the conspiracy of it.
Yeah, like there's no way to prove it. And like, did you hear like the Wayfair where like they were selling children like on Wayfair?
I've heard about that.
Did you hear? Okay, so you've heard of. Like, I believe all of it, just so you know.
What?
Well, there was Wayfair's super cheap, and then there would be a dresser called Delilah, and it was like $9,000. It was like, and then there was a girl, and then they would put like a girl that was missing, like that's the.
What?
Like selling children.
I didn't see that shit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Oh,
what the?
I don't want to. I'm going to sound crazy.
No, but I mean, listen, I don't. I'll tell you this.
Just Google like
after the
Wayfair
pandemic,
and
nothing surprises me.
oh yeah,
After the pandemic, I'm like, this is all up. This whole thing's up.
everything.
So none of that would really surprise me. Like, sounds terrible.
Well, and it sounds like when you say things that I believe, it sounds so crazy because you could never imagine another human doing like horrible shit to like other humans, like selling them or
Especially children.
drinking their blood or whatever it is. Like, it literally sounds crazy. Or like, that's why I like, you know, my parents think the government, like, they care about us. I'm like, Mom, no, they don't. Please, you don't actually believe that, Mom, please.
Yeah.
And they're like, they wouldn't hurt us. I was like, are you kidding me? They literally put like pesticides and food in our food so that we die. Like, we have the worst food. Like, the FDA is a crock of shit. Like, like our
it's
life
that's
is
all true.
Not actually their top concern.
No, it's money. It's a giant money making system. Money, control, and power.
But yeah, like the things that, like, you know, I've been down a lot of rabbit holes.
What about the flat Earth one?
Oh, I'm not a flat earther though. No, I'm not.
That one's weird.
That one's no.
Because I was doing a live pod with Brendan.
I have a friend that's a flat earther, like, and he'll sit here and he has really good points.
Yeah.
Really, really great points. And he's also like a brilliant man. He's actually a very well-known influencer. I don't know if I should. I mean, he probably wouldn't care. Do you know Manspot? Like,
no.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But he's a flat earther?
Oh yeah. He'll go and he has great points. And you're like, come on, man.
Well, I was on a pod for the Fight Companion for Brendan, and I was doing it with Rampage, and Rampage was like, he's kind of like into the flat earth thing a little bit, so he was talking about it, and he was mentioning how like emergency landings are the reasons why. He's like, this doesn't make sense, because like if you had emergency landing, why wouldn't you land somewhere closer and not somewhere farther?
Yeah.
But because of the topography of
yeah.
So I was gonna look at it. I was gonna look at it today.
We
actually
fly, so I understand like sometimes, and like you have to, avoid weather, mountain, like there's all sorts of things that you have to avoid and whatnot to make a decision on where to go. But how about like, do you think we've been on the moon?
That's a funny one. The moon. Well, that's the one hard for me because I'm like, well, how come we haven't gone back?
Yeah, why
That's
haven't
the one, and it's like the technology's way better now.
Way better. And why haven't we been back? And the flag in the video, it's moving, and it shouldn't be moving because there's like no wind up there. Like, so the whole conspiracy is like that was like a movie setup.
Well, that was also a time in which the governments were competing to be like, we're here first.
Yeah, we're here first, so we did it.
It makes sense that like maybe we were never
we
there
lied.
because it was just like, we were there.
We fibbed a little bit.
A little Hollywood action. It's weird.
Universal Studios like crushed it.
It was just for what though?
It.
Just for like just to say it.
We were first, bitch.
Yeah.
Boom. American flag. It wasn't supposed to be waving, idiot.
Weird.
There's so many out there.
I like conspiracy theories. They're cool.
I love it. And I'm one of them.
Go down the rabbit hole and just get stuck.
Yeah. Some of them are scarier than others.
Yeah.
That one is like, it's just weird.
Yeah.
How do you prove it? Well, yeah. Well, I guess we would have to literally go to the moon.
Yeah. And also too, there's just a lot of weird shit. It's like I said, after the pandemic, I was like, I can't not think that some of these things could be like a possibility, because when I saw how they moved during that, it was like the rationalization about why here, why not there. It's just like, you guys are just saying stuff and people are just falling in line.
Yeah.
It's almost like how they want to see how far they could push people to a point, to see if they could see how far they can push them.
Oh yeah. I think COVID was just like a test. Like, let's see where they stand with this. Let's see how
far we can push them.
I think it was just a test, and like maybe they release. So I'm part of they released that to us like that. But I think that was like the test to see like, okay, are they going to conform or not conform? And like it was pretty even split. And I think now, several years later, if they try to do it again, we're not going to conform. I think people are getting smarter now. It's like, are you kidding me? This little diaper on my face. Like, there's so many like
But then you see people who drive in their cars alone with masks, and you're like, wait, there are people like that?
There are actually, yeah, there are people like that.
So-
And you're like, I'm sorry, man, your brain's so small.
That's like, damn.
There's-
You should not be driving a car.
No.
Yeah,
No.
you should get support.
Yes. Or
It's-
or the people that wear like the full hazmat suit. You're like, man, do you know how like
You know, my favorite part was, this is something that I think people didn't really think about with the masks. It was like, the whole thing about the virus at the time was like, it can like go on, it'd be on like things, right? And then people they have a mask on, right?
walk to your table and then take it off.
Not just that. That was ridiculous. That was
so
even the people who believed in masks were like, this is stupid, but I'm
Yeah.
just gonna do it anyways because I'm a robot and I fall in line. But was the fact that even the people who believed in masks, this is something I think people never really thought about it. They would take the mask off and throw it on their seat, or put it somewhere. And they wear the same mask and put it down and wear it, take it off. And it's like, you're transferring more germs to your mouth.
Well, you're also transferring so many more germs because you're constantly like I could probably go all day and not touch my face. Like I'm not like constantly, like I just don't like touch my face. One, girl, so I have makeup on. We don't touch our face. But like having a mask when we had to wear them to like get on an airplane or something, the amount of times like I was constantly just touching my face. Well, I'm touching everything else.
And the mask. And the mask is touching
and then
shit.
there's putting it back on again.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
It's almost like you'd have a higher chance of
Higher
giving
chance.
yourself COVID.
Literally.
That's the thing that I was like, this shit doesn't make any sense.
Literally.
And then they were like, I remember it was like 6 feet apart. Then they're like, okay, 3 feet's okay. And then they're like, it doesn't even matter anymore. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And then there was, I swear to God, I'll never forget this. I saw a thing that was like, it was like from some, like from some news source. And they were like, yeah, the virus lives. This is when I lost my shit. It lives on like these certain surfaces for so long. And it was like, on like metal, it lived for this long, and then it lived for, and then on like cardboard, they're like, it lived for this long. And then I remember instantly thinking like, Amazon's not gonna like that because like it lived really long on cardboard. And then next thing you know,
just kidding.
No.
Doesn't live on cardboard.
Yeah. Next thing
dies.
you know, next thing you know, it was like that just gone from the internet. And I was like, oh, this is like, obviously Jeff Bezos was like, no, put that away.
Do not.
Don't say cardboard, motherfucker.
Yeah, no, actually cardboard kills it.
Yeah, it's I swear there was just stuff like that I was like, none of this it's like, what's happening? It's all just craziness. And people just go, okay. I'll do it. I'll do it.
We'll just
like,
follow along.
Man, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna come.
I just wish I use my brain. Like, I just wish people would use their brain, but we're so used to like, one, trusting. I don't trust anybody, so that's part of it. So just because someone's like, this, you have to wear this, it's like, wait, what? I'm going to do my research first. It's like,
yeah, people just fall in line.
Just fall in line. And you get it because you think like this is like this authority that you have to listen to. It's like, Yeah, you want to put this shot into my, like, what's in there?
Well,
have we done enough testing?
Well, let's not get started on the fact that there was one, but then you needed another one and another one and another one and another one for it to just work.
You know, you need 19 boosters and then you still get it. It's like, I didn't get the shot. And
like that, even if you believe it, just sounds weird. Even if you're like, this is we 100% need this, it's like, why did we need 5 versions of it?
Because, well, like think of the flu. The flu exists every single year. There's a new strand. Like COVID has been around forever.
Right.
It's just like this different strand.
Yeah.
And every year you're going to keep getting COVID because it's just a different strand that exists.
Yeah.
So have fun with your 85 boosters. You're going to keep getting it.
It was just apparently that was the one that was just a little more of a spreadable problem.
Was it though?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know.
Was it? Or that's just what they were telling us on the news.
I know. It's just so weird.
Man.
And then you start to really think about it and you're like, who made all the money? All these pharmaceutical companies made billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Billions.
And they were like, it's a free, but we just take all the money from the taxes and just give it to the pharmaceutical companies.
Billions of dollars.
For profit business.
Yeah.
If it was like all genuinely free and no taxes paid for it, I'd be like, maybe it's a good thing. But that would never happen.
I would still like, it was rushed.
Yeah.
Like rushed through. And it's like, what are the, like, I would love to know, like, what are the side effects in like a couple years from now?
Yeah.
Like, are there going to be side effects? You don't know. Because you literally rush this thing. I actually know, I am also on the side of, like, I know more people that have died from the shot. I know no one wants to hear that. Like heart attacks and whatnot. I had like kids having heart attacks. That's not normal. That's
Like
not
you
a thing.
personally knowing about
Oh,
that.
I like, but yeah, think about like a lot of the bodybuilders that died. It wasn't steroids, guys. Like it was, a lot of them had to get, because they were competing overseas, they got the shot. And what the shot was doing, a lot of times, like people had like really small underlying issues, maybe anyway, with their heart. It just exaggerated that.
Yeah.
So everyone dying of heart attacks. Healthy people dropping dead of heart attacks. Soccer players on the soccer field. Soccer players are literally the most in shape people ever. They run like 90 minutes straight, like sprints, and
Yeah. I mean, soccer's
dying
insane.
of heart attacks. Why?
Yeah.
Why? And no one, yeah, we're just going to keep that on the hush.
Yeah. Great times.
Yeah.
Great times we live in. I just wonder where it all goes. Just keeps happening. Because like, when is it going to be like a real pandemic, when it's like that people are turning to zombies? That's what I'm excited for. Then it'll be like,
I don't want to be a zombie.
no.
That's why we're creating.
Then I'll take a vaccine.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Then I'll take a vaccine.
If I saw a fucking zombie, because I remember when it first started, I was like, maybe this is kind of sketchy, because they made it really scary. And then like you'd see all these clips from like China, people like laying flat face on the concrete like they died or something, right? I remember seeing that in the very beginning, and then I was like, and then you go out and look around, like I don't see anyone laying on the ground like they're just dead. So I was like, could it be that sick? But in the beginning, were you a little bit like kind of like?
LA Fit. We were here for the LA Fit when the first case. You remember the first case like was actually in Los Angeles of COVID?
Yeah.
And the LA Fit was happening. And I remember we were flying home and we heard about it. And we're like, oh my God, the first case. And then it was like, oh, another case found. And like, we're like, oh my God. And then we started seeing people in like hazmat suits. We're like, are we okay? Like, is this like, and you just think of like, I go straight to like zombie movie.
Yeah, that's what
like,
I was thinking.
Oh my gosh, are we going to be okay? Crazy. Yeah.
So did you at any point, like, were you ever like afraid? Like, were you ever take precautions?
It was just like that first like couple weeks where
Yeah.
no one knew what it was happening. And like, you're just getting all this like weird information. And then after a while we're like, no. And then like, and then you get it. Like we got it. We both got it.
Yeah.
We were down for a day, 2 days, maybe.
Yeah.
That was it. Got over it.
Yeah.
And then we went to Mexico. You can get ivermectin. Ivermectin, instantly better.
Yeah.
That could have saved so many people's lives.
Yeah.
Instantly better. It literally, and I feel like I just saw that they like finally came out and said like, oh my gosh, ivermectin actually does work.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
After they were like, Joe Rogan's taking a horse dewormer.
Yeah. It worked. So
It's so crazy because it's like that's also something that also won a Nobel Prize, and it also had been used in humans forever.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was like,
All of a sudden it was
this is
the
bad.
devil.
This is really bad.
This is bad.
That's the kind of shit I go, wait a minute. This one is like, this is a fact that it was used in humans forever.
Yeah.
It won a Nobel Prize for use in humans. And now it's like, it was all of a sudden it was a demon, and Joe Rogan's taking a horse dewormer and stay away from it. And then now what, 2-3 years later, it's actually really good for that. That's where you're just like, what the like, how did that even happen? Or if you look at that in a like its own little time capsule in that timeline, you can't help but go like,
You know the funniest thing, because at least in United States, you can't actually get like pill form. You have to like go to a doctor, and they weren't like prescribing that at all. Because we have horses, we have 2 horses, and it is a dewormer. So you couldn't go to a Murdoch's. Like people were actually taking like the paste version of it, like
the actual horse dewormer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it works. But yeah, if you went to any kind of farm store, ivermectin gone off the shelves. So people were sitting at home just like eating the paste.
I wonder if it worked.
I guess it's like the same. And you just have to calculate like, because
The
for a
amounts,
horse, the
yeah.
amounts like, well, I only weigh 100 pounds. I don't weigh 1,000 pounds. So like getting how much paste do I eat?
Just imagine just sucking on the
Just
fucking
like-
paste.
And an apple flavor because they're usually like flavor it so the horses eat it. So it's
Yeah.
like apple flavor or molasses or maple flavor.
That was definitely
They were
happening.
at home eating horse paste.
Dude, I wonder what's next.
End of the world. We got 5 years left. So enjoy it while
I
you
feel
can.
like 10. I feel like 10.
I'm going with 5.
Really? 5.
We got 5. We got 5 years left. And then just say,
What do you think the end would look like, though?
oh, we're all going to be in cities. They're going to just start pushing us all. You know, like, you guys are here. Yeah, they're taking over the land, man.
No.
They're taking
10,
over.
10, 10. I need a few more years.
Well, at least you're already in the city. Like, I have to, like, they're going to burn my property, so I have to move and, like,
No
push
way.
it. Yeah. What about Hawaii? Like, are we just down? I'm just down all the freaking Hawaii.
Oh. You
Man.
mean the burn stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't a fire.
That's a whole nother one.
Yeah, that's it.
I haven't looked into that one enough.
Oh, I feel so bad for the people that live there. Like, it's so weird. Like, there was no running water. There was no alarm. Nothing. It was like a f***ing beam shot out of the sky. It was.
So you believe in the beam?
Oh yeah.
Damn, you're deep in the conspiracies.
Guys.
I love it. I saw it all too. I was like, what the f- is going on?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
If
come to
you
the bunker.
want, like, I like you, Brad. You're invited.
I'm coming.
I'm just
You
saying,
and
like, so
Rob.
I'll be like, 5 years from now, I'll be like, I told you, Brad,
I
but
told you.
here are our coordinates. Come to this
Dude,
location.
I would.
Knock 3 times. Password is New England clam chowder.
I'll bring a bunch of guns. I got you. You probably have
Okay.
guns, but I'll bring a bunch of guns. I'll bring some
the
supplies.
more the merrier.
Yeah. I'll bring some supplies too.
Food.
It'd be like The Walking Dead. You ever seen that?
Yeah.
Oh man.
That show was really good for the first, like,
4 seasons.
3 seasons.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh my God, how do you keep how you keep doing
That
this?
show was good. I loved it.
Did you watch all of
No,
it? Like,
no,
yeah, we
the-
stopped after like 3 or 4 and you're like, they were really struggling to like keep storylines like interesting.
I mean, how
And,
do you after that?
that's got to be hard. I feel like, isn't it still on TV?
Yeah, well, they have spin-offs now, different spin-offs.
Yeah, there's definitely a
We'll
different
do a
spin-off.
spin-off. We'll all come by and we'll do a spin-off in Montana.
Yeah.
And we'll write a whole thing. And then hopefully the world
I'm
survives
gonna
when we come
also
out.
change the password, guys. So just
Okay, change it.
I will text it to you.
Yeah, text it to me or smoke signal it to me because we're gonna need it at that point. But I appreciate you coming on for real. It was wonderful.
Now that we end with like, oh, okay, Dana's a lunatic.
No,
Awesome.
you're not a lunatic. No, honestly, I think there's just it's weird because 10 years ago, 5 years ago, if I had these conversations, I'd be like, I don't know, that's kind of far out there.
It is.
But it doesn't feel weird anymore.
It
'cause
doesn't feel weird anymore.
There's too much.
I
weird
think
shit.
the biggest thing is just like, just be aware
Yeah.
and like always be like ready. Like that's what we do. It's just like always just, be ready for anything.
Yeah.
And that goes just with life. Like
Yeah.
take care of yourself. Health is like literally the most important.
Yeah.
And just be ready for anything because the world is weird. It is so weird
Yeah.
and anything can happen.
When are we gonna train?
Dude, I was here all the last 3 days.
I know. I've been doing.
I know. I was like, maybe if he sees my story, he'll come. I don't know if you would survive my workouts, man.
Oh, you're shit workouts. You're shit workouts. Easy.
You would not survive.
Come
You
on.
would
I've been
quit.
there. I've done that already.
You would quit.
Maybe the leg workout right now. The leg workout might fuck me up right now. I'm not gonna lie.
We did legs for like 2 hours.
Not the upper body one. I'd crush you. It's too easy.
don't know.
You're a woman.
Yeah, but I'm on
Yeah,
so
you're on
many
steroids.
steroids,
Yeah,
right?
you're
Just
too
so
strong.
many.
So many.
Just all of them.
Honestly.
I'm like a human pincushion. Just like,
Where's your favorite spot to shoot? See, I tried to get you.
where's like a normal spot? Like,
Shoulder,
oh, okay.
glute.
Wouldn't that hurt?
Yeah, the first few times.
Oh, and then you what? Get used to it?
Yeah.
I have to give my goat shots right now, and I just like it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's like sub-Q. Like, I'm like, ugh.
Sub-Q?
Yeah, he's on,
Not IM?
I think he got that for something. He has polio.
Oh,
A
that's sad.
goat polio. It's not the same as like human polio. It's like a vitamin deficiency. So we have to like give him thiamine like every 6 hours, which is crazy.
What the doing that now?
Rob.
Damn, every 6 hours?
Yeah, he's much better at needles than I am. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, but
yeah.
so even in the night.
Yeah. So we've been waking up. I was sleeping in the garage for a while, like all last week.
Damn. How long is that gonna last?
I don't know. We've been doing it for 8 days now. It's horrible.
Is it gonna go away?
I hope so. He's like blind in his one eye.
Damn.
It's so sad. I mean, he's okay. He couldn't stand before, but he can walk. He's moving. He's just like really slow and staggering.
What's his name?
Rodney?
Rodney. I'm gonna come say hi to Rodney.
Rod.
When I come to Montana, and I want to tour the bunker.
Yeah. When it's ready,
Yeah.
we'll shoot you coordinates.
I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
I want to buy a property in a place like that. Like 100%.
It's so expensive where we are now. It's very expensive. Well, I mean, you're used to that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure used to that.
It's
California's insane.
yeah.
But thank you for coming on, for real.
Yeah.
I'm glad we ended it with you looking like a psychopath. It's my favorite part. No,
Guys-
you did. You're great. You're
Guys,
great. I'm totally
I'm
fucking with you.
actually my specialty is fitness, and then I guess I am also a conspiracy theorist.
No, it's not even weird anymore. That's not
it's
weird
not
at all.
weird. Again, be ready
Yeah.
for everything.
Yeah, I prepare. That's for sure. I prepare. But thank you for coming on. So where can people find you? Obviously, you said you have the app. That's the thing you focus on right now the most.
dlbdailyapp.com. Yeah, that's my training app. It's what I focus on the most. And then, yeah, just all social platforms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Dana Linn Bailey.
Yeah.
My full name. You just have to spell my middle name right. Linn.
Not L-Y.
Nope.
Yeah. Linn. Dana Linn Bailey, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Like it's crazy because it's a full circle moment because I've known you for so long and I really appreciate you coming on today. For
Thank
real.
you.
Thank
Thanks
you
for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Let's get a photo. Oh, wait. Make sure you subscribe every Tuesday, 11 a.m. I'll see you guys next week. I love you guys. I'm going to Vegas. I'm interviewing Dan. Dan will be next week. And I have a few more dope guests lined up. But yeah, thank you guys. Subscribe to the channel. I'm out of here.